boy George, back with no video of mine. One love to all of you on this Saturday, and I told all my people about the Euros. What did I say to all the guys that are watching this? I told you Italy's going to do well in this Euros. Look how well they played, not even just defensively. On the ball, the likes of Jorginho dictating the play. You had the likes of Verratti, Locatelli, Barella in that midfield, hard to contain. The only team that could contain them realistically was Spain, with their man-to-man orientated press. And that's the only way you could stop this team. Because if you give the likes of Verratti, Barella, and Jorginho time on the ball, they're going to cause you so much danger, man. So we're going to be breaking down how to get the best out of this team. Yeah, so before I get into the instructions and the tactics, I just got to go over these players real quick and the role. So Immobile is set as a striker, all-rounded striker in the Euros, man. Dropping off deep in the midfield, making runs in behind, dragging defenders out of position. And he's also linking up well with Insigne. And Insigne used to get behind defenders by using Immobile to play off, you know. So you've seen these two, their little combination play was very effective. So Immobile set as a ST, Insigne left wing, Berardi or Chiesa right wing. You can either have Barella on right attacking mid or RCM, but for me, RCM, Verratti and Jorginho as CDM. So Verratti as your LDM and Jorginho as your CDM. Now, this is where it gets interesting when we talk about Italy and their midfield and their dimension, because obviously Jorginho is your deepest midfielder. Then you have Barella as more of your advance as a number 10. So he's appearing in between the lines, linking up the play. And then you have Verratti. You will occasionally push up, or Locatelli on the edge of the box, but you will also create a double pivot in our own half. So let's say Italy got the ball in their own half, the balls with the centre backs. You will see Jorginho and Verratti form a double pivot. So that's why I've got Verratti as an LDM, because he will form that kind of a double pivot with Jorginho. So he will come deeper, both Jorginho and Verratti, to progress the ball from the defensive third to the attacking third with their progressive passings. And obviously them balls are breaking the lines. And yeah, man, you know, they're linking up the play and setting the tempo. And obviously we're seeing that. That was the theme for Italy. Without Jorginho, Italy ain't getting that far. But without the likes of Verratti, you know, Chiellini, Bonucci, you could say the same thing as well. So Verratti as well, I'm going to set that instruction for him to get forward as well. But what would happen is on this left side, you create overloads with the likes of Insigne and Spinazzola on this left hand side. So Verratti's doing a bit of both. He's in two worlds in terms of defending and progressing the ball and moving up the field as well. Kind of staying on the edge of the box there for link up play. So the wingers, obviously, I'm going to break that down for the instructions, but they would come back as well to make that 4-5-1. And you obviously got Spinazzola as your left wing back. I had to mention this, guys. This is why I go through the positions and stuff like that, because you can't have this guy as a left back. If you've seen this guy in the Euros, this guy is more of a left mid than a left back. So obviously he's helping out in terms of creating that width for the team. And on the other side, you've got Chiesa creating that width. He's that guy to stay wide, because Florenzi is staying back when Spinazzola goes forward, because when Spinazzola goes forward, Florenzi stays back to make that free at the back. So that's why I've got Florenzi as a right back and Spinazzola as a left wing back. So now let's just get into the instructions. Let's get into instructions now. My guy Donnarumma comes across as a sweeper keeper. Now it's very important to have a sweeper keeper with this team that we're using today, because when Verratti, Barella and Jorginho push up the field to press the opposition, you need the back line to push forward as well to make the pitch condensed and small for the opposition. So on this game, Chiellini and Bonucci, no matter how good they are defensively, you're going to get caught when you play against the likes of France by them through balls. And you need Donnarumma to sweep up the ball and protect the two defenders, because they're not the quickest guys, but defensively, in terms of their stand tackling, defensive awareness, they're brilliant. But when it comes to their physical attributes like pace and acceleration, it's not there. It's non-existent, guys. You know what I mean? Them guys are slow. So you have to be very careful when you're pushing Chiellini and Bonucci as well. Got to be very careful. So for me, stay back while attacking for Bonucci and Chiellini. But obviously, you would see Chiellini push forward as well and help out the team in the offensive phase. But Bonucci and Chiellini are more of your guys to make penetrating balls in between the lines. So they're more of your creative defensive players. So if you want to push Chiellini forward, do it manually, guys. On this game, it's very risky in my opinion. That's just for me personally. But Florenzi, balanced attack or stay back while attacking. Now, if you want to create that three at the back, I'd go stay back while attacking. But if you want Florenzi going forward, which he did occasionally in Euros, but not as much, balanced attack. Not even join the attack, because rarely you would see Bonucci and Chiellini exposed to the back. Always see Florenzi covering and helping out to make a three at the back. Because on the ball, right, when you're attacking, this is what's going to look like, guys, right? I know I might confuse some of you guys. This is an in-depth video. So when you have the ball, this is what it's going to look like. He goes as a left centre back. Bonucci as a centre back in the middle. He joins as a right centre back. You have Barella as like a right attacking mid, and in that like 10 role. Then you have Verratti and Jorginho holding down the midfield. So it turns into a 3-2-5 formation on the ball. But as you can see, the width is not created by Florenzi. It's created by Berardi or Chiesa. Chiesa, because Chiesa's right-footed anyway, so he can cross on his right foot, on his strong foot. With Brady, you might have to cut in with him. But for me, I like to play with Chiesa, but Chiesa's not actually on this game for online season. So you would have to use Brady. Or for me, I use Belotti, but it is what it is. But yeah, on the ball, that's what's going to look like when you go and stay back while attacking. So if you want to create that, I would personally go with Florenzi, stay back while attacking as a right back. And obviously, once he stays back, he's covering for Spinazzola when he goes forward. So let me just set everything back to how it was again. So for me, I would personally go stay back while attacking for Florenzi. So off the ball, you have Chiellini, Bonucci and Florenzi helping out. Now, on the other hand, Spinazzola, which is more of your offensive fullback out of the two, during the attack and overlap. Now, what happens when you have the ball on this left-hand side? Obviously, in the Euros, this left-hand side was very dangerous and very effective for Italy, because you had the likes of Spinazzola working this line. You had Locatelli or Verratti come in on this left-hand side to help out and create overloads. And you also had Insigne coming in to make way for Spinazzola, kind of free roaming, getting in between the lines. And obviously, since Insigne is coming in into that number 10 role and cutting in, he's cutting in onto his stronger foot, so it's almost like an inverted winger. So it makes sense for him to play in this position to get the best out of his abilities. So free roam and come short. Now, Verratti, default settings for defensive behaviour and attacking support, get forward, because obviously he's slightly ahead of Jorginho, and cover wing. Now, the reason why I've got on cover wing is because when Spinazzola goes forward, and let's say we get caught out on transition, so now we're trying to defend, and let's say Spinazzola can't get back in time, what Verratti will do on cover wing is he will help out and cover for Spinazzola when he goes forward and gets caught. So he's basically, I don't know, supporting his fullback, you could say. So I feel like cover wing for Verratti would be a good option. So up to you guys what you want to do there. I know a lot of people shy away from cover wing for their centre mids, but for me, in this system, I'd go cover wing, because I feel like it's the safer option for this system that we're playing today. So get forward and cover wing for Verratti. Jorginho, your deep line playmaker, stay back while attacking and cover centre. Don't really have to say too much about this guy, man. This guy is a genius when it comes to setting the tempo and making the game simple. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Sometimes you need them players to perfect the art of simplicity, just like Xavi and Iniesta, and that's what Jorginho does for this team. Not saying he's on that level, but that's what Jorginho offered in the Euros for this team. It would make sense to cover wing as well, because what would happen is, if Verratti and Barella was to get caught, Jorginho would help out both Verratti and Barella, you know, when we don't have the ball. And that's what Jorginho was doing. Very good at reading the game, high in the stats for the... I think he had the most interceptions in the Euros, not just for Italy. So he's very good at reading the game. That's a very underrated trait of Jorginho. But for me, I'll just go cover centre. But Barella, which is your more offensive midfielder, get forward, balanced, default settings there, and cover center. Now cover center because literally I've got Brady or Chiesa on come back on defense anyway, so this right hand side is covered and Florenzi is not really pushing forward. But on this side here, off the ball, when we defend, you will see Brady come back and help out in the midfield and Insigne. But sometimes in real life, when you see Italy play, you will see Insigne further up, and that's because when Italy do win the ball back, Insigne is already up there to start a counter attack and utilize his pace and getting behind the opposing right back. So that's why I have Insigne on balanced as defensive support. So default settings for that, and free roam and come short. Like I was explaining, you want him in between the lines. You want him cutting inside on his right, on his stronger foot. You know what I mean? To get the best out of his abilities and get into the box for a cross. The same thing on Brady as well. Get into the box for a cross. So moving on to Immobile, like I was saying earlier in my video, he appears as a target man. You can get him behind, drift out wide, help out the midfield, link up the play, hold up the ball. You can do all of that, you know what I mean? So to be honest with you guys, to replicate that style, just have it on balance, don't even touch anything and stay forward. Now let's move on to the tactics. So I've got pressure and heavy touch. Now Italy can defend in terms of constant pressure. They can press after lost possession, and they can also pressure on heavy touch. They've got a lot of variations in terms of their defensive style, but you will see at times if they're trying to hold a lead, they will drop off and defend in that low block in that 4-5-1 shape. So I would go either pressure on heavy touch, balanced, or press after lost possession. There would be the three options I'd go for in this system, but for me, I just prefer the pressure on heavy touch. The width is on 4 or 3 now. The reason being is because Florenzi needs to be narrow to support the centre backs. The wider it is, the further away he is from Bonucci. You want him close, so when we lose the ball, Florenzi's not, you know what I mean, on the touchline like a traditional like right back. You need him almost as a centre back. So when you have it narrow, as in your 4s or 3s, then you'll be very close to your centre backs, which we need obviously in this system. But you can obviously change it to a back 3 if you really want to. So you can have a back 3 and have Florenzi as a right centre back. But in this system, I've just gone with Florenzi as a right back for this video. So 4 for the width, the depth 5, 6. 6 is pushing it though. 6, I can't lie to you guys. 6 with this team, I tried it. I got exploited against the best players. If you want to be realistic, then 5. But the offensive style, balanced. There's no real set way of how Italy play. I think they're more possession than fast build-up play, to be honest with you guys. But I would fluctuate between balanced and possession. I tried possession on this game with Italy. They're not great. Balanced, yeah, they play much better, much more fluid in terms of building up in their attack. So to be honest with you guys, with that possession, they build up better from the back. So if you want to go possession, that's up to you. But I would go possession or balanced play. The width, I've got on 6 since Chiesa is going to be offering you support in terms of the width. And then obviously you've got Spinazzola offering the width as well. So 6 there would be a good number. The players in the box, 5. Corners, personal preference. Free kicks, personal preference, guys. So that is pretty much it. Now you've got this variation. You've also got 3 at the back variation. I'm going to send you guys a screenshot of that. If you want me to make a video on that one, I can do in the future. But yeah, man, try this team out for yourself. Decent team to use. Obviously, when you press with this team manually, if you want to go with the press after lost possession, they will press very aggressively. That's what I've noticed with this team. And a lot of players that you might play against might go for them long balls, which is good for you because Chiellini and Bonucci are very good in the air anyway, so they'll deal with that. Honestly, guys, this team is not the best on the game. It's not the best national team to use on FIFA, but once you get this right-hand side going, like maybe you want to play Belotti there. How I'd line up is I'd go Belotti here. Keep the midfield. I'll keep the defense as well. I'd even go for Florenzi here, to be honest. Di Lorenzo. Yeah, that's how sweaty I am sometimes. Sometimes you just have to do what you have to do, man. But honestly, guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. If it works, let me know. If it don't, then I'll try and find a solution for you, like always, man. One love. Take care of yourself. I'm out, man. Peace.
Hernandez. Failed to keep hold of it. Verratti. And that pass could be troublesome. There it is! Pogba. Really closing him down. And they have possession again. Running with the ball confidently. And return to Immobile. This looks promising. In it goes! Delighted to be two in front. Things look good for them now. A chance to whip it in. Immobile. Spinazzola. Can he finish? And there